You are now tuned into FNL Radio.
Keep making noise! Keep making noise! Yeah!
Get ready for Real Talk Radio with DJ Dot. 3, 2, 1, go! It's a Friday night anyway. Friday night. Friday night. It's Friday.
You ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Hey, what up, world, and welcome to another edition of FNL Radio. It's your boy Doc coming at you all live, and it's Monique on the line as well.
Hello, people.
Now, I hope you all had a good week and everything like that. You see, we are doing the show on Friday night this week as opposed to Saturday night, you know. And shout out to everybody that listened on Saturday night, too. You know, y'all still stuck around and everything, so I really appreciate all you all for, you know, tuning in on Saturday night as I was in Philly, lost on the highway and stuff like that, coming from Jersey and whatnot. So, you know, made the show back on, you know, Saturday and stuff like that. And we had a good 2-parter that night, so, you know, we really turned up on Saturday night, especially being in Philly and whatnot. But tonight, got a great show for you all again as always. Got a lot of news to talk about to cover with you all tonight. Let's just not even waste any time. This whole situation now on Monday. Here I go on Instagram. You know, usually I'm on, you know, it's Monday morning. No, actually Monday afternoon. I was at work, nothing to do. So I'm looking on social media. I'm all on Instagram and Twitter. And I was looking at Solange. I was like, what? Solange released a new single or something? Because, you know, I haven't heard much from Solange since, let me look at my calendar. That was about two iPhones ago. Last time I heard something from Solange. So I was like, okay, maybe she got something new coming out and stuff like that, you know. And I'm seeing Jay-Z involved with it. So now it's like a Jay-Z versus Solange type of thing. And I'm like, what's going on? So y'all know me on Instagram a couple of weeks ago. You know, I was posting all the Met Gala stuff on Instagram, you know, letting you all know what was going on at the Met Gala. You know, I was putting, you know, everyone arriving on the red carpet. I was like the Carters, you know, I was like, Solange got her nice wig on with her orange pumpkin dress on and stuff like that. I was like, you know, shouting everyone out. But little did we know, at the hotel, at the Standard, there was an after party. And there was a beat down for the century, people. Now, Solange was kicking and beating on Jay-Z like he was Sharkeisha in the courtyard of those projects. I was like, what is going on? So the video footage has surfaced of Solange beating the brakes off of Jay-Z for we don't even know what reason was for. And then Beyonce just standing in the corner, just looking all like, oh, I'm used to this. Like it was nothing. Her bodyguard Julius in the elevator hitting the emergency button while they on the 12th floor mid-air to make sure that no one else gets inside the elevator to witness the fight. But little did they know, there was some surveillance footage in the elevator and someone from the hotel leaked the footage out. And I was just like, wow, like what is really going on in this world? Like you thought they would be the coolest thing, you know, the coolest people and everything like that. Little did we know there was some behind the scenes drama all along. So if y'all missed the video and everything like that, it's on the docreport.wordpress.com. So shout out to TMZ for, you know, getting the video and all of that good stuff.
Oh.
But I was just like, wow, like what happened? Like what really happened? So there's a lot of speculation going around that Jay's was trying to holler. Well, this is just speculation, so I'm gonna say alleged because I don't want Matthew knows, even though he's not in the picture anymore, he did shut down the Doc Report once upon a time, so I don't want any foolishness from him tonight. But he word around the block is that Jay was, you know, seeing Google eyeing Rachel Roy, who y'all know Rachel Roy used to be married to Dame Dash, and we know Dame Dash and Jay used to have Rockaware and Rockefeller, and they used to be buddies and stuff like that. So that was one thing. Then someone else was saying that Jay was creeping with someone else and whatnot. So those are the two stories. Then something about Jay not helping Solange with her career after she asked repeatedly for help and stuff like that, and he didn't help her. So it's just a lot of hearsay right now because we don't know what really happened because they didn't really speak out. They did release a statement today, though, about the whole situation. And
they did.
In the statement, they said, as a result of the public release of the elevator security footage from Monday, May 5th, there has been a great deal of speculation about what triggered the unfortunate incident. But the most important thing is that our family has worked through it. Jay and Solange each assumed their share of responsibility for what has occurred. They both acknowledged their role in this private matter that has played out in the public. They both have apologized to each other and we have moved forward as a united family. It also continues to say the reports of Solange being intoxicated or displaying erratic behavior throughout that evening are simply false. At the end of the day, families have problems and we're no different. We love each other and above all, we are family. We put this behind us and hope everyone else will do the same. So, that still is kind of like what really went on now. So what's your take on this, Monique?
I don't know, it's definitely kind of strange what happened, and we may not ever know the root of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I won't. It's a little shocking, but the statement, just like they made in a statement, they're just like every other family with problems and issues,
mm-hmm.
And they're just trying to work through it and get past it. So, like I said, there's all types of speculation out there. I heard, earlier this week, maybe, Jay may be beating up on B, and
mm-hmm.
and Solange may have had enough, and she was taking up for her sister. Maybe, that's a rumor that was put out there. Like you said, the whole him not helping Solange with her career, that's been put out there. So just a whole lot of different things. Like I said, I think, this one is definitely going to be kept very hush-hush, and we may not ever know the root of what caused, her to attack him. But she did beat the brakes off him.
Yeah, stuff on out.
Nothing else.
She got stuff on out her little clutch bag. And that clutch bag was made out of some type of metal too, so she could have really hit him upside the head with that real quick. And then her wig stayed intact, like I said. When they, just the pictures of them leaving the party, and you would never even thought anything had happened. But after they left the party, Beyonce and Solange left in one car, and Jay had to be escorted and had to leave out of a different car. And then people are also saying right now, Beyonce and Jay got those matching Roman numeral 4 tattoos, the IV on their ring fingers. And they're saying Beyonce may be getting hers lasered off. And I was one of the people that was thinking maybe it's just fading because, she is bright. And sometimes, when you have your ring, when you wear your ring a lot of times, it will rub against ink. So maybe her ring was taking a toll on her ink and something like that, because it leaves, like a shadow in a sense, it fades off. But I don't know. Beyonce did have a tattoo back in the day during the Baby Boy video shoot, and that tattoo magically went away too. So who knows if these tattoos were really real to begin with. But anyways, that's just me.
I mean, and I think this is just a good example of, no one is perfect, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you are, no matter, how famous you are, nothing in life is perfect. And, things happen and things, are hard. And this is what happens, when you live your life in the public eye, so.
Mm-hmm. And it brings a new meaning to that line in Drunken Love, eat the cake and the may, said eat the cake and the may. That brings a new meaning to that, just in case if it allegedly was to go down and happen. But Beyonce, here's my thing. When the elevator, Beyonce just looking all cool and calm, like I said. She was looking like this is nothing new, like this is the norm for them in the family. But Beyonce got all these 4 alter egos. She got Beyonce, she got Sasha Fierce, she got King B, and she got Baddie B. But none of them came to Jay's rescue. But, I would say younger siblings, because I have a younger sister. Me, as the older brother, I am more of a calmer person, But my sister, she's trained to go. So, that's something with the younger siblings. They always stick up for the older siblings because, the younger ones, they're always trained to go. So I see it in that aspect, too. But people have been saying that Solange has been a little cuckoo crazy in the head sometimes, And then also, Solange hasn't even been loyal since day one, because let me break y'all back to MTV Cribs back in 2001 when Destiny's Child was just popping on amongst the white people. Now, back in the day on MTV Cribs, when at the house in Houston, you know, Beyonce had the cornrows in her hair, the micro braids and whatnot. Kelly was at the house because, you know, that is her daddy, Matthew knows. So, they was all at the house and stuff like that. And Solange, back in the day, all the interviews used to say that she was always a Nas fan, and while Beyonce was a Jay fan. Now, y'all know Jay and Nas had beef back in the day before they became cool years later. But, you know, Ether and Takeover and all of that speaks for itself. So, she has been loyal since day one. So, hey, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. So, y'all know we're going to have a lot of this covered for you all to see what happens. I was just hoping this wouldn't affect those On the Run tour tickets, because I did shell out some money for those tickets for my mom and sister, you know, as a little gift. So I was just hoping it wouldn't affect that. So, you know, it is what it is, people. But that was, you know, that's the story on that right now. We shall see what happens later on down the road with that whole situation. Now, last weekend, speaking of the Carters and the Carter Knowles and all of them, Beyonce's older sister, Kelly Rowland, she got married. So we kind of talked about it last week, and we were talking about how they were in Costa Rica and stuff like that. But it happens to be kind of true, you know, even though they haven't officially announced it or said anything about it yet. But Kelly Rowland did marry her manager, Tim, and they got married in Costa Rica. In attendance were about 30 people, and Beyonce was there, of course. You know, she got to show her little sister some support. And then you also had Michelle there, who I'm trying to figure out how she got a plane ticket. You know, that's an expensive trip. And then also, you know, some, you know, little family, friends and stuff like that too. It wasn't word if her dad walked her down the aisle or not, but, you know, that would have been nice to have her dad there, you know, to walk her down the aisle. Shout out to Matthew Knowles. So, you know, clap bravo to Kelly. And I see why Kelly didn't really announce her wedding this time around, because last time, back in 2004, 10 years ago, she was supposed to get married to Roy Williams from the Dallas Cowboys. And that was one embarrassing thing, because she was all in the magazines, trying on wedding dresses and stuff like that, and bridal magazines, doing cover shoots and everything. Then for the wedding to get canceled because...
Okay, you know, but you're not going to put the girl business out there like that. That she is happily married. I'm not going to allow you to keep her going with her past.
But all in all...
We all know that she was engaged, and it did not, you know, the wedding did not happen.
But congrats.
So we're going to say congrats to you, Kelly Rowland. You and your new man. Or husband. I just said that, not new man, but you and your new husband. Congrats.
He did look a lot how you doing, so I was just a little concerned for her. But congratulations, Calendria, on your marriage. And I'm just hoping that he doesn't pull an A. Marie on you, Calendria, because we all know when A. Marie married her manager, her career has gone nowhere. So, Kelly, you already got dropped from your record label.
And Marie's career wasn't going very far when she was not married to her manager.
Oh, goodness. Y'all know we keep it real up here. But anyways, she... A. Marie, you know, that's a different story for a different past. You know, y'all know my feelings about A. Marie as of now. So, I won't go into those details on the show tonight because we'll be here for a long time. But anyways, shout out to Calendria. You know, I hope you found love in a hopeless place amongst the music industry, and I hope your manager will help you on the Tamar Braxton route and not so much the A. Marie route. So let's just hope that comes to fruition with your next album, and hope it sells over 100,000 copies next time. But anyways, moving on to the another person that's going to be married in the whole Illuminati triangle, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Now, we've all been trying to figure out their whole situation for the longest. You know, are they married? Are they not married? Last weekend, they did have a bridal shower out in LA. And, you know, Sierra was there being all pregnant still. She hadn't dropped that baby yet. And she all on Instagram, crip walking and stuff like that with a pregnant belly. I don't think that's safe at all. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm not here to be the baby monitor or anything of that nature. But, you know, we've been trying to figure out, are they getting married? You know, Northwest's birthday is getting ready to come up on June 16th next month. So, word is that they're getting married